Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to video number 1 out of 1. Gonna do a little extrude here. So I think the first thing that I did, I don't even remember, I hit S, and then I have a bunch of my shortcuts here. You should already be at the place right now where you can build your own shortcuts in there. So I'm not gonna explain that. So I finished my sketch, and I'm gonna click here, and I'm gonna press Q to extrude. And then I'm just going to pull it up a little bit and wait for my computer to catch up with me. And I've just created a new body here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the top here and go to create sketch. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's maybe click here. I'm going to double click the perimeter. I'm going to click offset. And I'm just going to pull this in here and then click OK. Because what I want to do is I just want to pull up the outside. So I'm going to click on the outside now that I've just created and press Q again. And then I'm going to pull that up to this. And then over here, instead of join, I'm going to click on new body. And I'm going to click OK. Now these are two bodies that I have here, and we can see this over the body section. But I'm actually going to I'm going to highlight both of them, and I'm going to right click and go to create components from body. So now I have two separate components here, the bottom and the top component. And you can double click and call them whatever you want. So with the top, I'm just going to do one more thing. I'm going to create another sketch, and I'm going to do a free form, and I'm just going to pull it, do a little wonky design here to the end. I'm going to finish that, and I'm just going to press Q, Q to press pull. I'm going to go around to this side by pressing Shift and 2-finger swiping, and then I'm going to just click on the other face, and it's going to automatically pull it across, and it's going to automatically choose the operation cut there. So, I didn't quite pull it across as far as I wanted it, so I'm going to try that one more time. See if we can pull it right over here. And I'm not sure why it's not cutting that, but as a little bit of a shortcut, instead of trying to figure out what's actually going on, I'm just going to pull it farther than is necessary, and it's going to chop right through that. So now what we have here is a little Santa Claus sled, which I've unintentionally made. So I'm just going to save my design here. And I'm going to call it Santa's Tester. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding materials. So I'm going to right click on the top, and I'm going to go physical material, and I'm going to make the top of Santa's sled out of not gas but glass. So, and you can see there's a lot of different types of glass here, and this is going to affect the stress test that we're going to do soon enough. Then I'm going to right click on the bottom component, and what I did was I just dragged the material over and I dropped it on top of the component that I wanted it. So I'm going to the second component now, and I'm going to make it out of, what should we make it out of? Let's make it out of metal. Aluminium. So let's take that, and again I just dragged it and dropped it on here. You see there's a lot of different types of aluminum, and each one has its own special properties. So a lot of them have different types of strength and different types of material here. So that's what we've done. So if we look at the component now and we go to physical material, we're going to be able to see, I just want to make sure that this one is aluminum. Okay. And then we should be done for this. So the other thing I want to briefly touch on is appearance. So the appearance is what it actually looks like on the outside. So this is if you were to paint it or something like that, you could give it a look. So if I want to look for like a green color, because you know Santa likes green, right? So I can take the green and make it look green, although when we're looking at the physical material is still going to be glass. All right. So now we've got that. We've got two separate components. We've done an appearance, so it appears to be green. The physical material itself is glass and aluminum. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to create an animation. And with this animation, you can actually do an animation that actually goes through time, and you can record an animation on this. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this component so it's slightly separate from the other component, so we can see it's two separate components. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I'm going to go drawing from animation here, and I'm just going to click OK here, and this is going to give me an exploded isometric drawing that I can then create a components list with. So this is a really cool one. And now we'll wait again for the computer to catch up to me. And I'm probably going to chop this portion out of the video. So it's going to immediately switch over to the exploded isometric drawing. So I'm just going to click here, and then I can click on maybe shaded drawing. So that's going to keep it like it's going to keep it nice and colorful for me because I'm doing the exploded isometric. I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to click tables, and I'm just going to put in a table here, and you can watch, boom, this has automatically just made a table with 2 components. One of them should say number 2 somewhere, but it's not showing up. But it should have a number 2 sticking out somewhere, which I'll have to look into in the future. But item number 2 should be made out of glass, which is here, and item number 1, which it's pointing to down at the bottom here, is made out of aluminum. And then it shows the quantity and everything. And actually, if you double click on the table, you can add different things in there. So because I don't have a description, I can take that away. The part number you can include or disclude, the amount, the quantity you can put in there as well. So it's really cool. The mass you can actually, that actually helps you calculate costs and things like that. And again, I'm not sure why the number 2 didn't show up, but because I only have component 1 clicked. So Mr. Ward is actually helping me out here. So I have here component 1, and I have here component 2, but the dot on the side. So there should be something here that shows me how to get it, but I'm not going to be able to do it right here with you. So that's going to give me an exploded isometric drawing, which is really, really cool. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back here, and we're going to go back to our design view, and we're going to do a drawing from our design. So here's our design here, and it's multi-component. So the cool thing about this is you can actually do a full assembly, or you can select the components that you want, and you can just do diagrams based on either the top one of your components, which is really cool, especially if you have a very complex product that you're making. Maybe you just want to show what one component looks like, top view, front view, side view. So I'm just going to actually select the top component here, the top of Santa's sleigh, and go to Design, Drawing, from Design, and press OK. Oh, no, that's full assembly. Whoops, we've done it wrong. So it has all of Santa's sleigh there. So we're going to actually cancel out of that, and we're going to try that one again. So what we're going to do is back here, we're going to do a drawing from design. Instead of full assembly, we're going to go to select, and we're just going to select the top component. You see there's one selected there, and I'm just going to click OK. Then when we get into this section, it's just going to have the top of Santa's sleigh there. And maybe I can even make this 1:1. Let's see if that's a little bit too big. So I'm going to do 1:2, and that's going to be our front view. Then I'm going to click on projected view, click that once, and then I'm going to tap here once, and I'm just going to move it over here and tap once, move it over here and tap once, and then move it over here and tap once. And then I'm just going to hit enter, and now I have my 3 views. And if I can double click here, I can actually go to the solid section over here, shaded, or with the dotted lines in there, which is pretty cool. So this isometric view, if you kind of have it with color and everything, it looks pretty cool. Then if I'm going to hit D, I'm just going to get all the dimensions possible here. Okay? The only thing you're going to need to add on top of this, once you've gotten all the dimensions, as long as you have all the dimensions here, you can use radius at points here. Again, I won't go into the detail. One thing you do want to add is you want to add the views. So I'm just going to go to text here. And I'm going to call this side view. And then this one I should call front view, and this one I should call top view. And the other thing I'm going to do with A, and I should probably put this in the corner, but I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to put all units in millimeters, because I want the user to know that all the units are in millimeters. Okay, and then that's going to be a really great orthographic projection view of the top of Santa's sleigh. And you know what, I'm going to make 2 of these so I can have 2 pages worth of diagrams for myself when I go to make this actual product. So now I'm going to go back here. So we've done drawing from design and drawing from animation. We've made an animation. The last thing we want to do is we want to do a simulation. So I'm going to click simulation, and I'm just going to do a stress test, and I'm going to create the study here. And we have class, and I'm actually going to do a cool study here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm clicking on the whole product here, because that's what I want to do. And I'm going to put the constraints over just on one side of the product. So I'm going to move it around here, and I'm going to put the constraints right on this side here. So one constraint here and one constraint here. So this is where the position should be locked. So now if I do a stress test somewhere, this position will never move and never budge. So I'm going to click OK, and I can see the constraints here. I also want to do contacts, and I'm going to just click automatic contacts, and it says solids that have 0.1 millimeter or less gap between them, which these 2 components have, are automatically going to get stuck together. So I'm going to generate that, and basically what that's going to do is make it a solid model, as if we printed out 2 separate parts on the 3D printer and then glued them together. So that's what that's going to be like. Then what I'm going to do, all of our materials have already been chosen because we went to physical properties and we chose glass for the top and aluminum for the bottom. What I'm going to do now is I am going to add some force loads onto this thing. So I'm going to put a load here, and I'm going to put a load down here, and you can see it asks how many newtons of force we want to put. I'm going to put 100,000 newtons of force. This thing is going crazy. Okay, there we go. So I put the load on here, 100,000 newtons of force, and let's click the results, and it says the results haven't been computed yet. Do you want to compute them? Yeah, sure. And it says we're ready to go here. Let's see if we're going to be able to solve this. So it's ready to be solved, so I'm just going to click solve. And again, with the magic of iMovie, I'm going to skip this waiting bar all the way to the end. Ready? Voila. This thing is going to be done. Oh, here we go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a critical failure. This design is expected to bend permanently or break under the current analysis criteria. So if you're looking at Young's modulus, this is going to the, what's that point called again? So we're going to the past the plastic deformation part, past the elastic part into the plastic part. So when it turns into plastic, it's going to be deformed permanently. So if you're in DP watching this right now, that's what that's saying. Okay, so I'm going to click OK here. I'm going to close this, and look at this. What a beauty. So this is saying all of the stuff in red is going to be permanently deformed. Okay, so, and look at that warp on there. So here we have, this is the load case. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go to stress, and you can see the maximum point of stress right here. So if you are going to fix this, you can see our maximum point of stress right away here, which is really cool. So you can see it's maxed out here, but also you can see a big tense point here. You can see over here there's a big tense point too. So if you were actually going to support this, you of course would put Santa's seat right in here, which would wedge these 2 things apart and give it a little bit more strength. Okay, so and then you can see the max strain exact same place that the stress was into. So with Young's modulus, these are the points that you're really going to want to reinforce here. And again, we haven't even made this thing yet, and we already know where the points are that we're going to need to reinforce on Santa Sleigh, which is really, really cool. All right, that's it for me, kiddos. We'll see you next time.